Hi, my name is Jonathan. I work with Alpine Fire and Safety. This is our hydrostatic testing facility. Today we're going to go through a short video and kind of show you what the process is from start to finish. Visual inspection, hydrotest, drying, stamping, and getting ready for going out to the customer. So the very first step when a cylinder comes in from a customer, if it's an industrial cylinder, is to check, make sure that it's empty. We don't want any pressure before we devalve it. If it's tapered thread in a steel cylinder, we will use our devalving machine. Insert it after, again, double check and make sure that it's empty. Then we will devalve it. A lot of them require a pretty high torque to valve and devalve. Once that's done, we will go ahead and do our visual inspection and then on to the hydrotest. So our first process, once we have devalved the cylinder that's come in for hydrotest, would be to do our visual inspection. Some cylinders require a visual eddy inspection, which is what we're doing here. We would first calibrate the machine, and then we're going to do the test on the cylinder, as well as doing the regular visual with fiber optic light and mirrors to check the shoulder, neck area, and internal of the cylinder. So once we've completed the visual inspection, we will fill the cylinder full of water and select the appropriately sized fittings for the hydrotest. We will submerge the cylinder in the hydrotest jacket. After we've taken all the information, cylinder owner, size, DOT specification, pressures, and serial number, entered in all the information in the computer. Then we'll put the cylinder in the jacket and do a system check as far as testing for any leaks. Once that's complete, we'll go ahead and do the actual hydrotest, and if it passes or fails, then from there we'll pull it out of the cylinder and insert it into our cylinder dryer. So once the cylinder is inserted into the dryer, it's pre-programmed for different time values depending on the size of the cylinder. Once we have it in and hooked up, we will start the cycle and it will automatically invert, empty the cylinder of the water used for the hydrotest, pump hot water in it to dry it, and then clean air to steam out any of the moisture. And tip it back up, and it stays quite warm. But from there we would move it over to our site for stamping and putting on any of the labels required for determining when the hydrotest was done. So in this cylinder vise here, we will be putting our RIN number, our retester identification number, as well as the month and the year. If it is a steel or aluminum cylinder, we can stamp it in with metal stamps right on the shoulder area. If it's a carbon fiber, as far as like the fire department SCBAs, we put a label overcoated with epoxy to make a permanent mark on there for when the hydrotest was performed. At this point, we perform kind of a secondary visual, check for any moisture that might be left in the cylinder, and we've at times have also gone through if we found something in the previous visual inspection that was a little suspicious, we might double check just to see that, if there's a crack or something that we thought might be there, make sure that it wasn't anything more than just that. So then we would come back, get ready to revalve the cylinder. Different manufacturers have different specifications as far as torque and how to reinsert their valves. This is a Survivor SCBA, which requires a specific torque. So we will insert it hand tight and then torque it down to the required torque pressure. Cylinder is now complete, ready for the customer to pick up.